Hello, welcome to Productions MJC. My name is Mark. Yeah, Mark here again. What I've recently had happen, a flat earth believer video maker told me that he destroyed my video, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the flat earth mentality. Okay? What happens, well, Taboo Conspiracy, he makes this video, proclaims that he torn mine apart, and the people who made the comments were just all over it. They had just made fun of me and wondering what I would say about it. And this is his video. So he superimposed my words except for the LOLO stuff. And then he proceeded to tell everybody how what they were looking at was a mirage. And let me show you a little bit about what happened here. This is where he says the mirage line is. This is from my video. This is from his video where he took part of my video and he superimposed that mirage line and says that's mirage. Okay, well, let's look at it. This is a different section of it, and I've just put his mirage line back in there. Okay, so let's see what we can tell from this. Well, right there he says that is actually because of that angle and all that stuff, that is a copy of this up here, so that's a mirage. That's an inverted image of it, is what he's saying. The problem is the big arrow is pointing to something that doesn't appear in the mirage. You know, there are other inconsistencies, like, you know, that section between the orange line and the black line is missing on the mirage portion, the mirror portion. And see what I'm pointing at right there? Does that really look like, does number 2, which is supposedly the mirage, does that look like a copy of number 1 above it? Does it just look like you could flip those and that'd be it? Not really. See right there? Does that look like what the arrow's pointing to on the bottom? Does number 1 really look like number 2? Oh, and you know what these things are? They're birds. They are birds flying right through the mirage. Supposedly there's a mirage image, and that I capture birds flying right through it. See this mirage line that he superimposed? This is a dumb place for him to stop this video because there's 2 birds flying right through it. You know, see them right there? Those are their necks. The video is so clear. I mean, this is 6 miles and you can see their necks. So now you see this portion of it. Now let's go back to this, and the bottom line, he's saying that the mirage makes a false water line. But again, here's another place where I paused it and show you can see the feet and you can see the neck of the bird. There's the feet. Let me show you that again. Okay? You can still see the feet. Let's point at them and show you. That's the feet, the neck. You can see the curvature of the wing as it flies along. But supposedly it's flying through a mirage, right? He says that everything below that line is mirage, everything above it is actually the real building. Well, then why doesn't that look like the bottom portion? Why isn't it a mirror shape? Does he even know what he's talking about? You know, why does that bottom portion not even look the same? And again, there's that bird flying through. It's right on the mirage line, right? So where's the bird above the line? Where's the mirror image of the bird? I don't see what they're talking about. Where they say this is the bottom is a mirage. And look at what's happening on the left and right side of that video picture. This is a still from my video. So we're back again to, you can see the bird's neck. I mean, I don't really see what they're pointing out at, but they actually, their followers, you know, they just fawn all over it. Well, as we look at what's going on with this, the problem being hot air. Now, what about this hot air? What about, here we have the formation of an inferior image, I guess what they're claiming. The problem is, look at this. Hot air, cold air. When I filmed my video, it was in the morning. So the water, the air over the water was hotter than the air above it. I don't think so. Yeah, what they're saying doesn't make any sense. So they're going, oh, no, it's cold air and then the hot air of the day. Even though this is around, 6:30 in the morning on June. This is what we should see. So are they saying the image on the top of that was a false image and the building was actually below it or something like that? Because the cold air would have been over the water and warmer air would have been above it. So we should have seen a superior image. See, like that. Which we didn't. Again, the mirage should have been above, not below. They're saying it was below. Well, this would be an inferior image mirage only if it was in the desert. We aren't in the desert. I'm shooting up over water, right? The problem he doesn't show his viewers is up in the top right-hand corner, there's the dike, down below is the minerals, and between them is an alkali-ish, desert-ish, there's a little bit of water from, they call it a waterfowl area, but there's not much water there for fowl to participate in. He doesn't show you that that area between there, which is about 7 miles, is all hot desert. So if there really is a mirage of that building, where is it happening? It's happening in the desert portion behind the dike. Between the dike and the building. Has nothing to do with the disappearance of the dike. If there really is a mirage line there, then that would make sense because the birds are not, they're over the water. They're not over the desert. So that would make sense, right? So what are they doing? What a standard magician always does. Don't look at my right hand, look at my left hand. Don't look at the water and the fact the dike is gone. Just look at this of the building 13 miles away. The building 13 miles away really has nothing to do with it. And in my video, I raise the camera up 32 inches. And then all of a sudden, what appears? Tufts of grass in the middle of his mirage. So where were they when the camera was 6 feet off the water? Where were they? And why couldn't you suddenly see this when you're 8.5, 9 feet off the water? See that? I mean, that's his mirage, and right in the middle of it, all of a sudden grass appears just because I raised right there. And those tufts of grass are actually on top of the dike. And so the angle difference between the two positions of the camera was less than 6/100ths of a degree. 0.05787 blah blah blah. Okay? Yeah. So it's I who have to do the LOL crap. I mean, I say that's the water's edge, which it is. And the water's edge is not a mirage, which they claim. And you can see the building in the background, which is 13 miles away. Stuff taken out of context. And in another portion of this video, he says that when I film, it's an obvious mirage because you can see waves dancing in the air. And he gives a specific time frame and says you can see waves dancing in the air. Looks really silly. What is that splash? If you watch my original video, you'll see that splash. It's from a trolling motor. It's simple as that. So what I do is, that was filmed from 2.5 feet off the water. Then I get up on the dike and I film it from 20 feet off the water. Maybe 16, maybe, depending on how high the water level is, 16, 20 feet. But as I zoom in, there's the birds. And back in the distance, you do see a boat. But there's something else there, too. What is it? As we start to come in, boom, it's another boat and the dike. But remember, from 2.5 feet, I couldn't see the boat or the dike. I could see that one. And notice the splash? Notice the waves dancing in the air? It's splashed from that white trolling motor. And how do I know that? How do I know that that splash is actually from that trolling motor? Right there. The splash, the mirage. Well, I zoom in on it. There it is. And if you watch the video, you can watch it. It's not his big 115 horsepower Merc that he's got sitting there. It's a trolling motor that's making the splash. Because he's just meandering around, you know, trolling for fish. You know, doing it nice, slow, gentle. That's the same thing. That is not a wave dancing on the mirage. Like, it's just unbelievable. What a maroon. So, here we look at this and we go into the flat earth model. Well, you know what I say? You know what I say? I say to that, out, you demons of stupidity. Just... And he always says that he films 2.5 feet off the water, but you watch his videos and he isn't 2.5 feet off the water. And this is what he films, and he's obviously a better photographer than I, because I haven't filmed anything lately because of all the smoke and haze in the air, but boy, he gets crystal clear pictures, doesn't he? Even with all the smoke and haze in the air. You know, fires going off all over the place. But, here's a video of mine. Remember when I was zooming in on the 2 boats that we understand now? But I thought it was just one, till I got up on the dike and filmed. And he can almost get as clear, if not clearer, pictures than I can. And so, plus the 20 miles, 20 mile mark there, it's actually going out to the thing and then back. It's roughly 13 and something out there. Well, when you look at it, where is my angle going from the building on Pelican Beach, and what angle is he getting to that same building from Eagle Beach? The dike is closer to him physically, but he doesn't mention that. He tells everybody the dike is 6.3 miles away, which is an abject, flat-out lie. It is not 6.3, 6.03. It's barely 5.5. No, it's not even 5.5. Why? Because of the angle from that beach. That's why he films that. It's a flat-out lie. It's misdirection. It's chicanery. It's what a magician does. Don't look at this hand. Look at this hand. Ooh, look at the magic happen. That's what he's doing. He's telling you the dike is 6 miles away, but in reality, it's not. He's a liar. See that dike? And then he films in this direction because there's a mountain range over there, and the dike's even closer. And then he films this dike and goes, wow, I can see all of it. The narrowness of that little place doesn't tend to give him credence, and it tends to fool the people that are watching his videos because they think it's behind. So what I have challenged him to do and proposed is he go to this place where there's no desert behind there, there's water behind the dike, and film this. I've challenged him many times. Just, put up or shut up. Do it. I mean, show me this stuff. Here's another place he could film from. One is called First Point Boat Ramp. The other one is a curve in the road. Let me show you. That's the curve in the road up from First Point Boat Ramp. So you got 16 miles. I have filmed from that. If you've watched my other videos, I've filmed from that. My feet were roughly 20 feet off the water, and all I could see was roof. Then I went to another place up the road right there where my feet were 80 feet off the water plus camera height, and boom, I could see the whole building. I've filmed from here, Rainbow Cove, where I've suggested it's 10 miles. I've filmed from up here, and of course I filmed from the water's edge. So what I've challenged him is to take the same shots and from both places get 100% of the building just like I did, only from the top. From down near the arrow, I could only get the roof. But he says it's a flat earth, so okay, you're a better photographer than I am. go to Rainbow Cove, take a video from the top of the hill, take a video from the bottom of the, by the boat. You don't have to be out in the water, or you can even stand out on the boat ramp thing if you want to. I don't care. Just get me the same looking shot from both places, if it's a flat earth, which it should be, because the difference in angle be less than 0.09 or one tenth of a degree or something. I mean, it's nothing. So just, go there, get that shot. Yeah, film from both aero locations and show me that those pictures are exactly the same. You won't get a mirage effect because it's water in front and water behind. There's no heat shimmer you're going to get. Do it as early as you can in the morning, because remember, from my first lake test video, or was it lake test number 2? I think it was lake test number 2. I filmed from the cemetery, 21.25 miles. I filmed from that corner right there. Do you remember? Well, if you haven't seen it, maybe look at lake test number 2. There it is. That is me zoomed in. That's how much of it I see from that cemetery. And as I back the camera out to show you where I'm at, still you can see it's the whole thing. I'm in Lake Town, I'm at the cemetery, and there's the fence for the Lake Town Cemetery fence. And there it is. So, as you look at that, just from that position, film like I did, all of the building. Then what you can do, you can go over to here, another public area, right there by Meadowville. Go over to the Bear Lake Rest Stop. There's a little patio area. There's some trees. Stand right there. It's only 18.4 miles. And remember, I just showed you a video from 21.25, so we know you can see the building with the camera you have, because we have the exact same camera, and you're a better photographer than I am. So, Taboo Conspiracy, go down there and get that. See, you're right there. Bear Lake Rest Stop, Cheney Creek. Go ahead and go there and show me the building. Stand right there. Personally, I think maybe you better get on the roof, but I don't actually honestly recommend you get on the roof. Don't break any laws. Don't do any of that stuff. But you can stand right there. What is this? As promised, this is the flat earth mentality. They are the court jester of the world. They crave attention. In the past, for a couple of decades, I dealt with somebody who craved attention, was a court jester, and loved to just do the wrong thing. How many of you have had children and the child does the wrong thing? He craves attention and he just does bad things to get attention. You have the other kids that do good things to get attention, but you have one that he does everything he can wrong just to get attention. Sometimes even acting the sad sack. Oh, poor me. Look at me. Everybody hates me. They call me names because I believe the earth is flat. It's an attention thing. It's this person suffered from borderline personality disorder, I think was and then finally I had a therapist approach and say, you know what, here's the deal. This person craves attention, and they'll do bad things to get attention. They'll blame you, they'll blame anybody, but they desperately seek attention, and they'll do anything they can. That's the flat earth mentality. Some of these folks, a great many of them probably, realize that it's all a lie and bullcrap and everything, and still they persist. All the time, this is what I thought I was dealing with. Okay? The therapist explained to me, oh, no. This is what you're dealing with. Non-treatment compliant. They knew what the treatment was. Stupidity can't be cured. Mental illness can be cured. This person wouldn't go along with the treatment. If they're uneducated, you can educate them. But if they just desperately want to be stupid, especially to get attention, there's nothing you can do. So keep in mind, when you talk to a flat earther, that is what you're talking to. Well, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. You know, you try to explain to these people, and then you finally realize no explanation will ever do. They don't care. And the video makers that, like Taboo Conspiracy, he tells his audience that the dike is 6 miles away when it's only 5 and stuff. And at 5, there's less curvature on the dike when he's aiming his stuff at the same place I am. And you know, the thing is his followers know it. They know they're being fooled, but they're like this weird, sick cheerleading section. And so don't you be fooled by the presentations. Think it out, think it through. Come back, you know, to do the experiments yourself. Like I always say, don't believe me. Go out there and see what I'm talking about. Please like and subscribe. Spread the truth. Keep the information flowing so that when you see, if you do happen to see Taboo Conspiracy's thing and you have a question, wait a minute, why does his look different than yours does? Think it through. It's okay to ask questions, but find out the information and then use logic, don't use feelings, figure it out, and you'll come to the correct conclusion. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This has been Mark with Productions MJC.